Hey everybody, this is Detective Bacon from the Media Relations Unit again, and I am here with Officer Dave Hanson. Officer Hanson, I know you've done many things in your career. How long have you been serving the Tempe Police Department?
I've been here for 20 years.
Talk to us about your role now, what assignment you're currently serving in.
So I was chosen to be the Narcan program coordinator for the department, and that was because the department got a federal grant where it gave us money to purchase Narcan, to supply every officer with Narcan out on the street, pays for some of the training, and then it also would provide some grant money to, let's say the officers use Narcan on somebody as a result of an overdose, then there's some grant money that can help them out with treatment or whatever programs to kind of help them get back on their feet.
So you kind of alluded to it, you said Narcan for someone who may have overdosed. So talk to us about what is Narcan.
Sure, so Narcan is a medicine. The sole purpose of Narcan is to reverse an opioid overdose. There's opioids pretty much in probably in every medicine cabinet. A lot of people think opioids are just heroin related and illegal drugs, but opioids are really a pretty common medication used in hospital settings or for pain management. So if you've been into a hospital for some kind of surgery, or you went to your doctor to get some pain management for back pain or bad knee or something, they probably prescribed you an opioid-based medicine like OxyContin or oxycodone, one of those two.
With opioids, I know we've seen in the news and it's been reported it's a very addictive drug. Talk to us about some of the, how we get to the point where we're even using Narcan.
Like with any prescription medicine, you have to use it like it's prescribed. But let's say you take too much or you abuse it or whatever, the opioids have an effect on your body where basically it tells your body to shut itself down.
Okay, so it kind of acts like a depressant to kind of slow things down in the body.
Yeah, and then when you get to that overdose point, the medicine has told your central nervous system that it's okay to slow your breathing all the way down and then to stop breathing, and it tells your heart to slow your heart rate all the way down until it stops. And then that's when you get, you're kind of in a serious medical issue where your heart and your breathing is stopped.
And so this medical emergency, sometimes our officers are the first ones on scene. Sometimes we beat the fire department there because maybe geographically we're situated somewhere. So we get this call, somebody's overdosed. What happens?
So we get our officers get there first. Usually it's, someone has called 911 because they've recognized maybe their friend or their family member is overdosing, which is really important to recognize that first step in the home situation or with your friends. So 911 gets called. We show up. All our officers are trained how to recognize an overdose and what to do with their Narcan, how to administer it. We use a nasal spray for our Narcan. It's super easy. There's no needles involved. It's basically a little canister that you insert into the nose, and you push the plunger, and the medicine comes out. And that's so it can get into your system faster. You
mentioned earlier that there are some overdose signs. Are there a couple things you can tell our viewers that if they see that would be indicative of an overdose?
Sure. So, one is if you maybe know somebody has an opioid problem or they have opioid medications. Generally, the first sign people are going to recognize is their friend is unconscious and there's a really deep kind of weird snoring or choking sound. That's generally the first thing people will think is, because normally their friend maybe just passed out or their mom or dad is asleep, but then there'll be this really deep snoring sound, which is a weird sound if you've ever heard it. And really that's the first obvious sign that the body is kind of shutting down, because really that's the body's way of saying, hey, this is my last gasp, I'm trying to breathe, and your body is trying not to shut down. So that's generally the first sign that people will kind of see and start to react to. Another good sign, people will be super unresponsive, so you'll yell and shake them. A lot of folks like to pinch somebody to try and wake them up. Those won't work. We as police officers use what's called a sternum rub. You take a knuckle and you just rub it kind of right on the sternum plate. Very painful, and everybody will react to that. So if the person's not reacting, the person might start turning blue or purple. Generally that's another really good sign that people react to. And really they're just limp and unresponsive. Those are the kind of the big signs. And it's really important for people to understand and recognize that that's a medical emergency. You can pinch somebody for 10 minutes, and that it's not going to help them. They need to really call 911 to get some help.
And they need something fast. And that's
They
what
need
Narcan
something
is
really
for.
fast, yeah, because if you think about it, by the time somebody recognizes, hey, my friend or my family member is in a medical emergency and they're not breathing, the 911 call takes a little bit, and then for officers to get there, so now you're just minutes behind
Sure.
having that Narcan there to help.
Now, in Tempe, we're doing something unique. So we're going beyond just the administration of Narcan and getting these people to the hospital. We're doing some follow-up care. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, sure. So we're in partnership with Impact La Frontera Services, and so when we administer Narcan, or our fire department administers Narcan, there's a phone number, a hotline that the officers call, and the folks from Impact will send out, we're calling them navigators. So a navigator will come out, and generally they're kind of they have a shared experience maybe with their past. Either they had family members with drug addiction problems, or they have experienced addiction in their life. So they're really great people, and they can come out and maybe relate a little bit more to this person or the family. So the navigators will come out and either meet this person at the hospital, because most of the time people get transported to the hospital, and just really give them some good ideas, some resources to provide for them, and the grant will cover that for those folks.
So it's beyond, for us, we're at the stage where we're going to administer Narcan. If somebody has an opioid addiction, we want to help them.
Sure.
We want to see them get beyond this, and this is all part of that program.
Yeah, and so if you think about it, in Arizona since 2017, we've had about 5,200 people die of an opioid-related overdose. Now that involves prescription medications and illegal drugs also. So really that's a lot of people, you know, and across the nation, the trend has mostly been you give cops Narcan, they Narcan people, they go to the hospital. And it's kind of a cycle. So there's not really that follow-up piece to get these folks some help or support. Or even, you know, it could be as basic as providing the family with some information on addiction and services available to them.
Because maybe the family didn't even know there was a problem.
Maybe the family didn't.
And this kind of enlightens that a little bit.
Yeah. Since we've had this program in February, we haven't had any repeat people that we've gone out to the same house. So that's a good thing. You know, it's not like we're going to the same people all the time. So since February, our officers have administered Narcan successfully 12 times and saved 12 people. All separate people, none of the same repeat folks.
Anything else out there you want our viewers to know?
Don't be afraid to call 911 if you see a friend or your family member or somebody in distress. Call 911. We'll show up. If the problem's medical, the fire department will take care of it. We would rather have somebody start the emergency medical process by calling 911 than delaying it, because that just puts off the medical treatment for the person in trouble.
Sure. And it could save their life.
It absolutely could.
Well, listen, we really appreciate you taking some time explaining Narcan, opioids, some resources. I think there's a lot of really good information that you've provided us today. We thank you for everything that you do. We thank you for your service. This is Detective Bacon with another episode of Bacon Bits. We will see you again soon.